And I thought it was everything to have a house, to have just be taking care of myself and all of these things, all of these ambitious goals of mine that I've been able to achieve. I thought that would be attractive. And in meeting men and dating a lot of successful men, none of them would ever talk about how exciting it is that I've invested in properties or would ever even want to come to see my house.
In yet another episode of Delusion, we got to head over to the Poor Minds podcast. They seem to have gotten Ari Lennox up there, and they had a long conversation, but a component of the conversation dived deep down into their own feminist girl boss bullshit. And it's actually fascinating to see how the feminist mind virus continues to multiply. It's like a dirty, festering wart that seemingly will never go away, and it damn sure won't go away if we are not creating content fighting against its evil. Nevertheless, we're going to head over there and listen to them spew their bird babble bullshit and continue to combat said evil the best way that we know how. At a certain point, calling past relationships with a man as a narcissist, right? Like, how many different ways are you going to try to not be accountable for your own actions? But let's dive deep down into it. So without further ado.
Like, they're going to be mad at me saying this, but I also feel like that American dream has been sold to us, and women are just now figuring out that maybe that's not for me. Oh, go to college, you marry somebody, the white picket fence, and marriage happily ever after. When you're a successful woman and you've accomplished so much on your own, a lot of times they don't have much to add to you. So unless you are making me happy, I feel safe around you. I feel good. Right. I don't care on paper how good you look, because my life looks good without you. If I feel better without you, even if you are a good man, I'm okay without you. Yeah.
The funny thing is that American dream, that marketing behind it was given to what you can attain from a family perspective, one of which the man effectively was the head of the household, working the majority of the time outside of the household. But now that women have adorned these roles, thinking that everything would be held the same or equal, but they're finding out that they are no longer happy. A man would rather choose a good-looking woman that treats him well, that works at Wendy's, than a woman who sacrificed her femininity to compete with that same man to chase a lifestyle. Meanwhile, that woman wants both. She wants to be treated well, and she wants him to be a high-value man. And there's nothing wrong with wanting a lot, but these women are not creating themselves to be kept by those very men.
Yeah. And we have figured that out. We've figured out how to make money. We've figured out how to purchase homes. We figured out how to have these bomb-ass careers. And it's like, okay, we're good. Yeah. And they are hating that. So instead of them being happy for us and cheering for us that we have figured this out, they're like, oh, but you're 30-something. You've never been married. You ain't got no kids. Baby, you can never make me feel bad about my life.
They hate that we okay with being single.
Oh, they hate it.
Yeah, and then there are people who have been married and maybe it didn't work out, or God forbid, might have lost their spouse and things, and they wind up single parents. And so I just kind of feel like it's so much disrespect around single people, single parents, and I feel like it's just weird.
Shut up. The idea that you're trying to conflate people becoming single because they are widowed and the very real thing that modern men are experiencing with modern women today is absolutely insane. It's absolutely. Men are not like, oh, she did all this within her life. Boo, she's not worth it. No, men are looking at y'all behaviors and y'all actions and the way that you treat each other and the way that you treat men. I'll tell you guys a quick short story in regards to treatment of others. The other day I was at a local establishment, a pub, if you will, all right? I grab a drink. I go sit down at my table. I see two lovely young ladies going to go sit down at their table. And they're like cheersing each other because they just got a drink at the bar, right? And I look over at them and I start cheersing them just as a show of like, camaraderie. I see them, they look like they was in their corporate attire. They was doing their thing. And here I am over here just cheersing them in the air. They see me and they put their glasses up in the air. One of the chicks says, "You gonna buy us the next drink, right?" Not joking. I'm like, I don't know these chicks from a goddamn hole in a wall. And I'm saying to myself, look at me trying to make outreach to these random young ladies one of which that I think will be met with a degree of positivity, and already they trying to get something up out of me. It is disgusting through the proliferation of this feminist mind virus, through thinking that they live in some type of oppression or patriarchy that doesn't exist, through the separation within our music and our media, through the proliferation of e-thought, gold digging, don't need no man culture as it exists online. This goddamn corporate woman asked me to do some shit like that for her off of the strength of what? That she can use me in that second? That's what modern men today are dealing with within these mindsets. When I scoffed my face up towards her, she said, "What, you can't afford it?" Baby girl, if you only knew what I could afford. I didn't say this to her. I just turned and looked the other way, because why go back and forth with a hyena? These successful women are making money but are still trained to treat men like ATMs. What's the real standard when men are experiencing that? Because it's not respect. That's why men rationalize being single until the end of time.
I handle men just like I handle business. You want to work with me? Oh, you want to experience me? Oh, okay, these are the terms. Can you agree to these terms? Can you fulfill these obligations? Oh, you can't? You can't fulfill the agreed upon rate? Oh, okay. Well, we'll just have a meeting with the other company that's been eager and waiting to work with us. That can offer us all of this and some. We're going to go with them because you plan. So we're going to cut our losses and we're going to take our talents elsewhere.
The mindset poisons both sides. Women start treating men just like they're resources, and men start treating women as if they're temporary entertainment that they got to pay for. And inevitably, nobody wins.
Very weird.
Yeah, people are single for different reasons, and it's best that we are healthy and why we're single.
And then you said, like, especially your mental health. A lot of times they be like, "Oh, you with this good man." Y'all don't know what goes on behind two closed doors between two people.
Let's
Y'all
really talk about it.
You just never know. And that's why I say, but I feel like they only do that to women. Like, if women are in their 40s and single, or they haven't had kids, they're like, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" But when a man is 40, they're like, "Oh, he got money. Oh, I know he's a hot commodity out here." And it's just like, why is that?
Yeah.
It's so weird, because
a couple of reasons.
lot of men...
Because with men, with them getting older, they look at it like, oh, you're in your prime as a man when you get to your 40s. When you start getting the salt and pepper and you start aging, you ain't in the prime of your life. And realistically, too, like, most men don't become extremely successful until I think they're about 40.
Yeah.
So
I really think it's the 50s.
it's like 40, the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Women
so
also
it's like
date up.
for them, as they get older, it's looked at as, oh, you in your prime. With us as women, the older we get, we damage good.
Yeah.
Could never be.
Exactly.
Never.
Could never be. But that's what they be trying to tell us. That's the propaganda.
Yeah, it really is. It's truly propaganda, because I feel like
Propaganda
if
is
we're not
crazy.
happy in a relationship, they make you feel like, oh, you're being ungrateful. You're being ungrateful. But if a man leaves a situation, a man could have a woman who's good on paper, right? She's successful, she's beautiful, and they're like, "Oh, she got too many college degrees. I know why he left that bitch. She's probably a know-it-all."
And I thought it was everything to have a house, to have just
pay attention.
be taking care of myself, and all of these things, all of these ambitious goals of mine that I've been able to achieve. I thought that would be attractive. And in meeting men and dating a lot of successful
They don't give a
men,
shit.
none of them would ever talk about how exciting it is that I've invested in properties, or would ever even want to come to see my house. Or at all. It was very much so, no, just come over here, or you know, it felt like all my accomplishments were minimized.
Wow.
And so I realized, I don't know what I was thinking growing up, thinking that, like, me being accomplished and independent would attract others.
That's the lie. That's media lying to you. Hook, line, and stinker. You're looking at the actions of the behaviors of men that don't give a shit of you being a strong, independent queen. And instead of just saying, "Hey, listen, I'm experiencing this time and time again," and not reorienting the way that you think from the feminist mind virus. Instead, you now say the men are just minimizing me. They're just hating on me. Like, why can't they understand? As opposed to thinking like an intelligent adult, perhaps I was lied to. Perhaps the majority of men don't think this way. And perhaps you shouldn't establish negative characteristics if the majority of men think that way. Perhaps that's the normal, ma'am. Perhaps what you're doing is denying biology.
Successful men or successful men and just realizing, wow, I think it deters them.
Yeah. It does.
It intimidates them.
I agree with that because I used to feel that way too. Like I used to think he gonna care that I got my degree. He gonna care that I'm successful. He gonna care that I got my own shit. I pay my own bills. No, men do not care about that. I always say just get rid of your shit because they like girls without anything.
Wow.
Just get rid of your shit.
Yeah. If you want a man that bad, I don't want one that bad. I'm keeping my shit.
Can we really talk about it? I'm not getting rid of my big dogs.
Right.
They say that's another thing that scares men away. Like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I want a farm man anyway.
Yeah.
I want cows. Like, I need you to like big animals.
It's so crazy because it really is hard to find a man that can just really support you and be happy and be like, look at my girl. Like, you think that everybody wants to praise Jay-Z and Beyonce, but a lot of y'all could not be Jay-Z sitting there in the crowd cheering for her like that. They can't. And Jay-Z be like this.
Yeah.
Happy as hell. And y'all be praising, but y'all not Beyonce. Okay, but you not Jay-Z either.
Ooh. Exactly. Speak on it.
So if we on this level, we both
If I'm not Jay-Z and you're not Beyonce, why are you utilizing them as an example? You just disprove your terrible ass example, which, by the way, is the feminists' standard example because they all want to be this ideal of a power couple. Don't y'all think that there's a reason that we don't know the intimate details of the lifestyle of Jay-Z and Beyonce? Don't y'all think that there's a reason that they don't let cameras up into their household, into their cribs? What I've come to understand about this internet thing is that unless someone's showing you the majority of their life or the majority of their day, do not trust them. Definitely don't idolize something like their relationship because it could be all a lie. Shout out to Christy and Desmond Scott. Men respect competence. That's not an argument, but men choose differently. We choose based off of peace, respect, and cooperation, and femininity. If you're unable to abide by these things, then you're not fit for the life he is building. All y'all talk about is what you've created or the accolades that you have, but you don't talk about the things that are important to that man. And now you have the big ass dogs, or you have all of the lifestyle things where now you refuse to deprioritize to be one with a man at the tender age of whatever y'all are, which is at the wall, which is at geriatric pregnancy. Let us continue.
Getting money and getting to it. Why you can't clap for me, but I'm always supposed to clap for you. It is a very strange dynamic. So how is dating for you now?
And it seems like they want you to be silent too.
Oh yeah.
You know? And just look.
You're not supposed to complain about anything because they're the good man on paper.
Yeah. That's why I'm happy. Like I'm putting all of like my flaws, everything out there.
Yeah.
Because I only want to attract someone who isn't intimidated or horrified by them, by that. So, yeah.
Do you feel like it's easier to date men in the industry or outside of the industry?
Yeah, outside of the industry, I feel like people, all they see is Ari, like the stage and stuff. I don't think they see Courtney. And then I think men in general, I think they're fans. They're fans.
Yeah.
They like the idea of me, but no one is genuinely trying to get to know
She's
Courtney.
cooked.
Yeah.
And spend some time with me.
Yeah.
Build something with me. People want me to be an accessory to them, you know?
I understand that.
So are you dating right now? No. Is there a man? No. Who you texting?
Hell no, no one.
Okay.
This guy texted, I called, we talked last night, but now I'm thinking in my mind, I'm traumatized. Like, I don't even know if I want to be on the phone with anyone anymore.
That's crazy.
Because I was getting to know a guy, and we would talk for like 6 hours a day. Come to find out, I come to his city, and he didn't want to hang out. It's a long story, but whatever. It's online. It's online. But my point is that now I'm afraid to talk to a guy on the phone. I don't want my time wasted.
Yeah.
And remember a second ago when they were talking about why men reach a certain age and are often seen as more valuable, whereas women are. It's shit like that. That's the baggage that that men are talking about. So now a good-hearted man that you might meet now has to deal with the trauma of effectively, you being traumatized for whatever the situation was. She didn't get into it, so we can't diagnose it. It's wild to just watch women like this sit around and talk about their relationship woes, and everybody is yesing you to death when you should have gotten therapy for all your bullshit years ago to relinquish some of this trauma that you're currently experiencing, which, by the way, is not valuable for a man of substance and means. The exact same type of woman that's going to hit the tender age of 40, probably in about 2 to 3 years here now, if I'm looking at the wrinkles in her face correctly, and then will resent the man that never chose them without understanding what disabled them from proper selection or retention, rather, because I'm sure she's getting selected, but then getting done dirty, and her never understanding why she would show up to a city and a guy would never link up with her. What they should be doing is resenting the information that has hit their eyes that sold them a dream based off of lies perpetrated by those that wanted to increase the bottom line of their business. Y'all thought Prince Charming was going to be waiting at the end of your success tunnel, but apparently that just wasn't true. All right. But if you continue to break down, content like this, right, it's not so much about the direction of empowerment. It's about the direction of misalignment, because the message itself, it sounded good. The independence, freedom, right? You got, chicks shirtless with their titties out at marches and shit like that. Go, woman. Rosie to Riverdale flexing her bicep and shit like that. But when you follow the lifestyles of these, and we go over them time and time again up on the platform, we call them wall bangers, okay? When you follow their lives, how it is that it's ending up, it usually produces isolation as they continue to be confused why relationship after relationship ends up in dust. You cannot say that you want a relationship while treating the relationships as an optional convenience. It's got to be something that you really got to work at, especially if you have been convinced over your lifetime that men are one way, but yet they are actually another. You cannot say that you value men while in the same sentence within your ego, you act as if they are replaceable. And ain't no amount of big ass dogs that you have back at home that's going to replace a human male. All right. At some point, reality should force correction. But I can understand why it wouldn't if you're in a sea of other bitter sea urchins that will never hold you accountable with all of their mammary glands out and shit, talking about how much that they don't need no damn man. For the G's out there, keep on being discerning. But all right, I think I'm done with this damn content. I swear for God, if I hear yet another female podcaster talk negatively, right, accumulate men negatively for women's successes without the full context in regarding to her behavior, it's like, I can't believe that they still speaking these talking points. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Guys, drop me a line down below in the comment box. Tell me how it is that you feel about the content that I've placed in front of you today. And let me know what you feel about my assessment as well as my dissection. Do you agree? Do you disagree? What did I miss? Put it down for me down in the comment box down below. But I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Stay safe and protected out there. And I will see you soon. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound when it's MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.